What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nick, and in today's video, what I wanted to talk to you guys about were my first impressions of playing the PC version of Gears of War 4 on Windows 10 via the Xbox Anywhere program, and directly kind of compare it to the console version of the game that I played right after that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, so just as a disclaimer, the video that you guys are watching now, the gameplay video of the demo you're watching now, is not my personal gameplay because the game actually was not available for direct capture at the event. So the event was held in Toronto late last week, and it was actually held in the Distiller District. I only live like half hour outside of Toronto, so I was very happy to get the invite and to come. And I was really surprised that the PC version of the game was there to play, and literally right beside it was the console version of the game. So in my head, to make a video for you guys, what I thought I would do is you guys would probably be interested in what I thought technically wise the differences between the two would be. So how the game ran, frame rates and that kind of stuff, texture quality, draw distance. I thought that I would share you guys my impressions of that, even though this is not direct gameplay from myself. The gameplay that you guys are watching now is just taken as stock footage from the official Xbox YouTube channel, and I'm just gonna be talking over it basically. I went straight there, I sat down, I took note of my surroundings because I'm a ninja, and I took note. So the PC itself, even though the specs weren't listed anywhere, it was an Alienware PC because it was an Alienware case. And the monitor that we were playing on was a 27-inch, about their size, LG 4K monitor. And from what I was told, the game was running at 4K, which was nice, and it definitely looked like 4K. And you actually also had the ability to play on a keyboard and mouse. So if you are a gaming PC purist, then you need to play all your games on keyboard and mouse. You have the capability of doing so. I experimented with it just a tiny bit just to make sure that it worked, and from what I could tell, it did work. I'm not a huge keyboard mouse guy just because I'm not good at it. I generally like to play things with gamepads, as you probably know if you follow the channel a lot. So I did play with the Xbox One controller version throughout the entire demo, and it played very well. But keyboard and mouse was available for you to utilize as well if you wanted. So like I said earlier, the reason why I wanted to play the PC version first and then right away play the console version is I kind of wanted to set a visual benchmark for myself in terms of how the game looked and all that kind of stuff. So on PC in 4K, the game looked fantastic. Everything was very shiny. The frame rates was playing at least 60 frames per second. I don't think LG makes a monitor that runs at more than 60 frames per second. So it definitely was very smooth, was very, very intuitive. The gameplay, as you would expect, played just like any other Gears of War. If you played a Gears of War in the past, this game is no different. The Gnashers, shotguns, lancers, chainsawing people, all back. If you're a Gears of War fan, you'll be happy that gameplay-wise, everything is fairly similar, nothing too crazy. Gameplay elements that are different. If there are these high wind sections, so the wind is really blowing in your face, and if you throw a grenade into the wind, the wind carries the grenade, so you kind of have to like plan the trajectory and all that kind of stuff. Just follow those stuff like that, just makes it seem like the gameplay has evolved a tiny bit. The new weapons like the Ripsaw that shoots freaking blades at people and bounces off the wall. Something that's not new. I've seen that before in other games, but for this specific game of Gears of War, it is new. And yeah, everything just looked great. I really didn't notice that much of a difference until I went to the console version of the game. So just as food for thought and as a disclaimer, the game was running on OG Xbox One systems. They were not running on the new Xbox One S's. So the new Xbox One S's, they have HDR support, as well they have 4K upscaling. And as well, the game was being played on a large, about I would say 40 to 46 inch monitor. So everything was blown up. So the bigger the monitor, as you would guess, it becomes more distorted. So since we were playing on a 27-inch monitor on PC version, everything was squished, so everything would look better. So we were playing on 46-inch TVs and on the original Xbox One system. So no 4K upscaling, no HDR support, and you could tell right away it was the console version of the game. Textures were not as detailed. Draw distances were brought a little bit further towards the character. Not everything wasn't as shiny and glistening and all that kind of stuff as you found on the PC version of the game. And even though I'm not a technical guy that I can look at a video and say this is 30 frames per second, this is 24 frames per second, this is 60 frames per second, if this is 120 frames per second. It did feel that the frame rate had been locked to about 30 frames, and that's basically where it was at. And so yeah, that's basically it. My impressions, there is a big gap technical wise between the PC version of the game and the Xbox One version of the game, and you're gonna have to decide, because based on when you buy the game, you have access to the game on any platform, well, the two platforms that you want. You can either play it on the console version, or you can play it on PC via the Xbox Anywhere program that was announced at E3. All right, so for the rest of this video, I kind of wanted to talk briefly about the Xbox Anywhere program. It's probably going to incite a lot of fanboyism, console fan wars, and all that kind of stuff. Let's just wait for it. Let's just wait for that one guy, that Sony fanboy in the comment box, to leave a mean message, because it probably won't take long. Let's just wait. We'll wait. See? There. He's right there. It didn't take that long, like I said. Anyways, so the Xbox One Anywhere program was announced at E3, and what it basically means is that if you buy an Xbox first-party game, so a game that is exclusive to Xbox One, you can have the choice of either playing it on the traditional console, or you can play it on Windows 10 via the Anywhere app or program application, whatever they decide to call it, on the PC version. So it will be cross-buy, it will be cross-play, and it will be cross-save. So you buy the game on Xbox One, you can play it on PC. You buy it on PC, you can play it on Xbox One. And it kind of, when it was first announced, basically the internet kind of exploded, because a lot of people thought it kind of signaled the end of the Xbox One as just the standard traditional console. And when I thought about it, I took a couple minutes before this video to kind of just think about it. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. If you are one of those people who have a gaming capable PC, a decent one, there is basically no reason for you to own an Xbox One, because you always, I don't know about you guys, but I always want to play the best version of a game that I possibly can. And if you have that capability, why would you limit yourself by not playing it? And I've already established earlier that the game just plays better on PC. It just does. There's no denying it. And I'm not 100% sure how much more of a difference the Xbox One S would make it better with the HDR and 4K upscaling support. But from what I played, it was kind of just night and day. And ReCore, another Xbox exclusive, was also playable at the event. Once again, they had the PC version of the game, and then they had the Xbox One version of the game. Once again, still night and day. It's just, why would you play the Xbox One version if you have a gaming capable PC? It just doesn't make sense, especially since you're getting it for free if you buy either version. It's just awesome. It's a great system. Then I thought to myself, does this really spell the doom of Xbox as a box? I just thought about that. They're trying to move away from the box system, even though they have the word box in their name. Yeah, it's kind of a mindfuck moment. Anyways, so does this spell an end for Xbox as a system? I think what it really spells the end for is, I think it's really kind of telling us where the directions that these consoles are going to be going in the future. Eventually, a lot of people will predict that once technology gets to a certain point, as well as internet speeds become more, high-speed internet becomes more widely available to a larger majority of people, eventually you're going to basically have TVs that are capable of performing what a dedicated console performs. So what you're going to see is Sony, Microsoft, probably not Nintendo, because they take a while to get their shit together in terms of online services. Eventually we're going to see a transition away from consoles to just services. So services like PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, and whatever service offers you the most bang for your buck is the one that you're going to choose to use. It's just, you're a consumer, you get to spend your money wherever you want. So my original thought was, wouldn't Microsoft and Xbox be concerned of losing the sales of the traditional console itself? But when I really broke it down to, that's usually not the whole game for a video game company or video game manufacturer if you're in the console market. Because before this generation, all previous generations, in most cases, the consoles were actually always sold at a loss. So the cost of actually making the console at launch was more than what they were actually selling the console for. And what either Sony or Microsoft always bank on is that eventually they'll just make up that money plus more, hopefully, if they want to stay in the black, on software sales, licensing to different publishers and all that kind of stuff. And the drops in price that you guys see, as well as usually when there's a slim model of a console put out, is just basically represents the diminishing cost of actually manufacturing. As technology goes on, it just becomes cheaper and cheaper to make things, and it just becomes also, they get to make a new console, a fancy new box that they can sell to you guys and maybe get some of you guys to upgrade. And simply just, it's cheaper for them to make, so it's kind of like a double win for them. So the whole console argument of, well, they're losing out on console sales doesn't make sense anymore because they were never banking on making money selling consoles in the first place. What Sony and Microsoft are interested in selling you guys as consumers, as well as myself, is services. So services like Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, buying games digitally. More and more with every passing month, digital sales of video games just keep going up and up. And what's nice for those companies, not nice for us, is that when we buy a game digitally, and there's, let's just say we pass the point of where we can return the game via the return method of whatever platform you're on, you can't trade in that game anymore because it's a digital version. You can't take that game, you can't take it to GameStop and resell it to GameStop for store credit and then buy another game. And that really works on the publishers as well as the developers' favor, because when a game is resold via GameStop, none of those profits are seen by the publishers and developers. Not one single penny goes to Sony, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, nothing, zero, nada. But when everything becomes digital, and basically when everything becomes digital, GameStop stock down the toilet. And when it was first announced with the Xbox One that you couldn't trade in games anymore, the forward hand on the doomsday clock of GameStop definitely went into panic mode. It's just, eventually they did like reverse on that policy, but it's where video games are going. It's just, everything is just becoming more digital. It's going the route of Blockbuster, where these brick and mortar stores are no longer being offered, and you have services like Netflix bringing you the content directly towards you. So long as Xbox is still selling games, whether it's dedicated for PC versions or Xbox One console versions, they're still seeing profit. So, and if they see profit, they get to continue what they do in making the video games that we love to play, and they're offering more options for you. And I was actually thinking about it because it's actually a really sweet system for people who travel a lot like myself. Especially, I go to a lot of gaming events and I need to sometimes bring my consoles with me, so I can play the game at home on PC, the best version that they have, playing on super ultra graphics, 4K, 144 hertz, all that kind of stuff. But if for some reason I'm in the middle of a game and I need to go to an event but still record, I can take my Xbox One S with me, or my Xbox Scorpio when it releases in the future, and hopefully it fits. It's not like this big. Hopefully the Xbox Scorpio isn't this big and I can fit it into my luggage, and I can make games on the go for you guys, or make videos on the go for you guys and record anywhere, and it will just streamline everything and make everything super easy. So I'm really looking forward to Xbox Live Anywhere. I think it's a great system, it's a great idea, and I really just hope, I'm praying to God that it just works. It just works. So yeah, anyways, that's it. That's my first impressions of Gears of War 4, my ideas of how, and impressions of how Xbox Anywhere are gonna work. If you guys have any questions for me, leave them in the comment box below. For at least the next day, I'll try to reply to as many as I possibly can. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a fantastic day.